In borscht? Never. Interesting. Chinese version, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, so how are things over in Georgia land?
Georgia land seems to be fine. Apparently, a few days ago, there was a national holiday. I wasn't aware of
Yeah.
it because I didn't go out. And
What
and so,
what
mind
national
you,
holiday?
it was so this is my 11-year-old student, local, who I teach online. And now, again, her vocabulary level is like a band 7. So it's actually pretty good in general for somebody that age.
Yeah.
And her explanation, though, was a little wanting. It seems like Georgia is named after a guy, Georgi. And Georgi, um, apparently, it sounded like a King Arthur's tale about him going to a lake and helping somebody. And so somebody in the lake made him the leader or something like that. It didn't make a lot
Wasn't
of
it St.
sense.
George? It wasn't St. George, was it?
I don't know. And she, in this point, it seems like she didn't know very much either, other than the fact she didn't have to go to school. So she was content with that.
Right, I gotcha. Declaration of Independence. Where did it come from? Good question. Where Georgia? How did you? Where do you get your name from? Don't know. Armenia. Tbilisi is the capital, which is where you're situated, right?
Correct.
On the outskirts. You're in the suburbs, though, right?
Um, I, I guess we're in the city proper, but we're on the far northern edge
Hmm.
called Goldani.
Okay. Right. First mention of the name spelled as Georgia is in Italian on the Mappa Mundi of Pietro Visconti, dated AD 1320. Early stage of its appearance in the Latin world, not always written in the same way. So it was also written with a J, Georgia. Stems from the Persian designation of the Georgians, Gurgan. Although I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. Not clear about the King Arthur type story.
Yeah.
Georgia's name is the state of Georgia. It doesn't even mention anything of it. Nope. Nope at all. Interesting. And yeah, have you been able to get out at all lately, or are you pretty locked? You're not locked down, but I mean,
Oh,
you
good
don't go out
heavens,
very
no.
much anyway?
Naturally, I don't go out. Among other things, I'm still inclined to save money until I know where money's coming from. And okay, yes, I have work right now, but I don't have work after a couple of weeks from now.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh.
well, I mean, the semester's over. So, I mean, I mentioned to you the Japanese school I work for, and that's I sign up for hours, and if it's available, I have students. So then I have to
Right.
go back to that at least for a while.
Yeah. Okay. And but wait a minute. So, how long would that last?
Well, with that, it's there whenever I want it. I'm on good terms
Is
with
that
the owner of the school.
that isn't that what's it West? Is it Westgate?
No, 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 no. This isn't Westgate. No, this isn't
Okay.
Westgate Corporation. As for Westgate, it looks like I might be at the beginnings of a relationship, and so I'd have to wait and see how things progress before applying to Westgate. And Westgate, it's normal. For university classes, it doesn't start until April. I have seen them posting ads as late as February looking for that April in
Right.
years prior. So there's no urgency to that.
But that's all online anyway, isn't it?
Well, Japan has opened up again, and recently they also changed it so that tourists no longer, Western tourists even, no longer need a tour guide. I was going through all of the everything I could find online. It seems like you don't need to be vaccinated to work there.
Oh,
And that doesn't
really?
surprise me. That doesn't actually surprise me because Japan, again, Japan never had mandates, never said people must wear masks. They never did any of that.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah, they just made it difficult for people to bring the disease in. But if you were already in
In Japan.
Japan or if you went through the quarantine period, Um, now,
Japanese
social.
government website. Although we encourage all citizens to receive the COVID-19 vaccination, it is not compulsory or mandatory. Mandatory.
Yeah,
Mandatory.
the
All right,
Japanese
going to
government's
Japan.
amazing.
My current host country would probably disagree. What about Thailand? Let's see what Thailand does. Thailand.
You know, my students were going to Henan University, which is located in Zhengzhou. What about Thailand?
Starting October 1st, 2022, travelers entering Thailand are no longer required to show proof of vaccination or COVID test result. Wow.
Most of the world's that way. America is one of the odd men out on this one,
Because
unless
they're
you're an
fighting
American
China.
citizen.
Right. Interesting. Wow. The only reason I am actually looking at Thailand is because to do the Delta Module 2, I think they've been sending people to Thailand before.
Yes,
That was the although I haven't really researched this yet. I don't know. What do you know about this?
that is what I had understood. I think I had actually heard that from Judy when she was talking about Module 2 and other people, because you have to do the teaching, and it has to be observed teaching. And
Yeah.
so for several years, I heard there was a place in Thailand, and I heard about other teachers doing it, I think in Florida, of all places, because, Americans typically don't do the Delta. So I was baffled by that. But I heard Thailand quite a bit. And that there
Yeah,
was a
that's
school or
the
two set up that looked for people to come to them.
I guess, hey, choice Japan or Thailand or Korea. I'd do Korea again. Korea would be fun to go back to. I think that would be very interesting. I'm not sure if Canada is a place to go for this. I haven't. Does Canada need proof of vaccination? I
No,
haven't.
I don't, oh, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
June 14th, Government of Canada announced that it's suspending COVID-19 vaccination for federal employees. Okay, what about the rest of us? October 1st, wow, proof of vaccination is no longer required to enter Canada or board a
Oh,
plane or train in Canada.
hello? Hello, Steve?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah, well, can you see me moving? Because you're frozen.
Very little. Very back. Yeah,
And you're
frozen
breaking
again.
up. Yep.
Yeah, I understand why it's breaking up again. Still broken.
Yes, it is.
You're frozen. I'm not using. Oh, that's why. That's why. All right.
Ah,
There we go. Now the government can track us again.
wonderful. I'm sorry to hear that.
Canada suspending October 1st, 2022. Proof of vaccination is no longer required to enter Canada or board a plane or train in Canada. Wow, the world changed. I have not checked this. This is crazy. This is almost exciting, but not like I'm going anywhere. Not at
It's to
all.
stop all those unvaccinated Americans who wanted to enter Canada. I mean, not too many, I'd imagine, because those who are
I know.
unvaccinated in America are not the kind of people that typically visit Canada. Well, I don't know. Maybe again, where you're from, in the plains, in the Central Plains, they might enjoy that
Mm-hmm.
area.
Good. Well, maybe, I guess. I don't know, but that's and I was just mentioning on Facebook that, if people could travel again, if they could backpack right now, anywhere in the world, where would they go? And a lot of people said, yeah, they would travel. And then they also said, well, there's Scotland was mentioned, Europe, of course, Asia was kind of mentioned as well. One person mentioned Asia, but it was actually all over the place. Northern Canada, and then also West Africa was also another place. But I mean, very small sample size, couple,
Sure.
5, 6 people. But the interest is there. I mean, if they could go, they would, sort of thing. I mean, I can't help but think, I don't know, because you've been in China, not in China, in Georgia for a while already. If you were given
Yes.
the choice and the chance to move, like especially with your work arrangements, would you take your show on the road, so to speak?
Well, actually, the woman who I might be starting a relationship with, that's what she wants to do.
What?
Uh,
You have a woman involved?
I mentioned to you, I don't know, 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago that I'm seemingly at the beginning of a relationship. And so
I thought
I
that was in
told,
reference to the to the company that you were starting.
well, no, I was explaining, no. That was explaining why I'm not sure if I would have signed up for Westgate or not.
Oh, okay. Oh, Denny, you convinced another woman to go out with you?
Why, thank you, Steve. Thank you. Um, so
Well,
anyway,
congrats.
well, thanks. Uh, she works she works mainly face to face, but can also do her work online. She's Kenyan.
Okay.
She got her master's degree up in Sweden. She's lived in Ethiopia and South Africa also, but she's also traveled to India, Nepal, Russia. She was in Russia when the coronavirus problem began. Actually, she was in
Hmm.
Siberia, the Philippines. Some of her work, she's had two careers. In her first career, she was also in America and in Canada for a while. She was in Missouri. I don't know if that means anything to you, but she even knew Manhattan, Kansas. Kansas is next to Missouri.
Okay. No idea. It
Uh,
sounds like she's traveled all over. What does she do that she's been able to travel so much like this?
well, her earlier career, she had earned her master's degree in in something along the lines of city planning, public policy, and water management.
Right.
And she worked for an NGO. And so I guess going to different areas and consulting or explaining how to do things. Afterwards, she wound up getting something called Six Sigma training to be able
Yeah.
to analyze businesses and again consult about deficiencies and how to make it more efficient, more profitable, whether that means changing where you're getting your resources or materials, I should say, raw materials, how you're handling shipping or human resources or whatever. And that's what
Yeah.
she's been doing now. And well, like I said, she's based in Kenya. She had never really thought about establishing a company outside. Oh, she's been to Dubai and other places, but I said, well, why don't you consider establishing a business in Dubai? Very tax friendly. Also, you're, I mean, her English, I wonder why the African countries, for some people, they are not considered native speakers. I never really understood that. Um,
Probably political reasons, to tell you the truth, and whitewashing. To be very honest, just to be very sort of superficial about the analysis of that. First two thoughts comes to mind: political
yeah,
and whitewashing.
because Safi and you knew Mandu, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
so
Nigerian. She's Nigerian.
yeah,
Was not is
yeah,
Nigerian.
right, yeah, she was from Nigeria. Safi's from Zambia,
Yeah.
and okay, and so Aching is from Kenya. And
Hmm.
I said, even with her abilities, right? Unfortunately, when I listen to people, that IELTS examiner is still in the back of my head for analysis. She obviously is a band nine, right? She's English wasn't her first language, but it's the language of education. But it wasn't what she spoke at home.
Right.
Um, but she could work in Dubai servicing the foreign companies, doing that kind of work, and there are protocols for that, and paying no taxes on that. And so
Sounds like a
something
good
she's going to
job.
have to consider.
Yeah, but does she have to be allied with a company, or can she go on her own? So you're
She
saying setting up your own business sort of thing.
Right. Well, she's already working independently as it is.
So, wait a minute. How did
I
you? You're in Georgia. How? Where is she?
So the internet is a marvelous thing.
You're okay. You're not starting a relationship with a woman online.
So as I was saying, she the one place she hasn't been yet, the one continent she hasn't been yet, or really wants to go visit is South America,
Okay.
which
Just
works for
sounds like
me.
you have an internet relationship going. And be careful about meeting her. Kenya, dude, this is all of a sudden starting to sound like a scam. Really, it sounds like a complete scam. part of a scam. Well, hopefully it works out and that you don't end up in a back of a trunk somewhere in South America after she, or who knows, her friend from MS-13 shows up or something. Or her cousin. Good question. All right.
She also visited Georgia before. And I can validate it because she can describe to me what she did in Tbilisi. So I know she's been here.
Because Google stops there. The research stops there. Well,
it's a little bit more sophisticated than that, Steve.
I hope so. I hope so, because if you're falling for an internet scam, boy, dude, I don't know what to say. Not sure. Yeesh. Oh, well, hopefully it doesn't screw up, mess up. Good luck. Be safe, man. That's all I gotta say is be safe. How's that?